Today we are going to discuss about some other charts. So in yesterday's sessions, we have discussed about the icons in Tableau, how each and every icon works. So we have discussed about all these icons, and we have also discussed about some of the other charts like line chart, correlation chart, bar chart, and stacked bar and blended axis. So today we are going to discuss about some other different varieties of charts, deviation type of charts, distribution, ranking, part to whole, spatial, and flow representation. So these are also some of the different types of bar charts. So we'll be using in wide variety of examples. So let's see. So this is deviation type of chart where you will use this particular chart when you have negative values in your data. So if you see in the sales, so you don't have any negative data. So in our data, in sample superstore data that we see, so this doesn't have any negative values in sales. So this doesn't have any negative values in the entire records. And if you see the profit value, so there might be some negative values. So in some case, in some scenarios, you might need to sell the product even you don't get any profit. So there are some cases you have negative profits as well. So now let's see. Now let's use profit as a column. So now let me take an example as profit. So in this profit, as I have negative values, so I can see the deviation. So I'll take a subcategory column and I'll make it as horizontal bars. Okay, so these are horizontal bars. And if I sort it in the descending order, so I can see positive values on the right side and negative values on the left side. So this is how I can show the deviation. So positive values I can keep one side of the chart and negative values I can keep one side of the chart. So this will become your deviation type of chart. Deviation. And now let's go to distribution. And this is also called as bins and also can be called as histogram chart. Excuse me. So histogram chart is very important chart in Tableau where it will show you the frequency of measures. So before explaining this, I will just create a sample data. Let me open a new Excel. So let's take an example of all the movies and ratings. So these are the movies and the ratings of those movies. And here I want to find out, let's say movie names are like A, B, C, D. So let's assume this as movie names. So I have ratings of 1. So ratings will be 1 to 10. Starting from 1 to 10, you will be having ratings. So these are the ratings which those movies have. Okay, so in this I can see which are the movies which got highest rating and which are the movies which got lowest rating. So let me do a sorting. So I can do this here also. I can do sorting. So I want to do the sort by values, smallest to largest. Okay, so this way I can see uh, which are the movies which got highest rating. So these are the movies which got above 5 rating, and these are the movies which got below 5 rating. So to create a histogram chat, so it basically finds out the ranges. So in that particular range, what are the number of movies are there? So if you want to particularly find out in some particular frequency. So here I want to create bins. So I will tell you what is bins. So bins will be created on measures. Bins will be created on measures. So what is measure in this? So can anyone tell me what is measure in these two columns? So yeah, ratings is the measure. So now I'm gonna create a bin on top of this ratings. So I want to create a bin of size, let's say 3. For every 3 ratings, I want to create a bin. So let me create 0 to 3. I have created a bin, and 4 to 7, I have created a bin, and 8 to 10, I have created a bin. So the size is 3 here. So it will be 11 actually. So if the size is okay, so I want to know what are the number of movies which are in this range. So can anyone tell me like what are the number of movies are in the range of 0 to 3? Srikant, can you tell me what are the number of movies? Hello, Srikant? Yeah, only one is there. Yeah. Yeah, between 4 to 7. Between 4 to 7, we have these many movies. So it is 7. So between 8 to 11, yeah, 3. So there are 3 movies. So with this, I'm able to know in that particular range. So in that particular 8 to 11, how many number of movies are there? So if you see in this range, in the range of 4 to 7, there are more movies. So different way of visualizing the data. So as we have limited number of rows here, let's say here we have only 11 rows. Okay, within this 11 rows, I can manually calculate. But when you have millions of records, so to create these bins, it's very difficult. So now I will show you how you create bins in Tableau. So so there is an option, there is a concept called bins. So you can create bins on top of any measure by just right clicking on that. So I'll just right click on this and create bins. So here I will mention so here I will mention the size of it. So like I mentioned, can anyone everyone go on mute? Yeah, just unmute when you're talking. Okay, so in this Excel, I have taken the size of 3. So between 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, like that I have mentioned. Here in Tableau also, you should mention it here. What is the size that you want? So what are the ranges that you want to do? So let's say I have values starting from 0 to, so minimum value, so it will show you minimum value and the maximum value. So in this particular data, I have minimum value, which is 0, and the maximum value, 22,638. So now I'm going to make a bin 0 to 500, 501 to 1000, 1001 to 1500. Like that, I am going to create a bin. So by entering 500 here, so I'm going to create a sales bin. Say okay. So a bin is created here. So you can see this, but you are able to see only 0, 500. But here we have written as we have writing it manually, so we are able to see 0 to 3 and all. But so in the backend, how it stores is it will be storing the value starting from 0 to 499. So this will hold a value starting from 0 to 499. And this will store a value starting from 500 to 999. So I'll just show you by putting sales here. So this is just aggregating it. So aggregation is nothing but doing the sum. So let's say I will take, let's say gross amount received, gross amount. Okay, so let's say the profit that we got from this movies. Let's say this one is 200 crores, 300 crores, 500 crores, 550. Okay, so this is the gross amount that these movies have scored. So if I want to find out in the entire industry, so let's say let's say this is TFI. So in the entire industry, I want to find out what is the total amount of that they have achieved. So I'll just take the total, which is 5,450 crores. In the entire industry, they have received 5,450. So you're just aggregating it. So what if you don't aggregate? So these are the individual values that you see. In the same way, if you go into Tableau, so when you're seeing, so whatever the values that are there, 0 to 500, so it is aggregating those things. Go to analysis. So there is an option. So you can remove that aggregation. So if you uncheck this particular thing, it will remove all the aggregation and just show it as discrete. Okay, if you see 0 to 499, you will be able to see the values, individual values. Yeah. So till 499.999, this will hold the values. And from 500 to 999, it will store the, so it is just creating the group. So I'll show in Excel what it exactly showing. So 0 to 3. So without aggregating, you can show what are the ratings it is showing. It is showing 2. So this is the rating it is showing. And 4 to 7, what are those values? So 4 to 7, there are 4 values. So, sorry, 7 values. So individual values. So just copy this, paste it here. Okay, so basically what we have taken here, we have taken the count of it. So I'm just showing you the count of it. But actual numbers are these. So in between 4 to 7, these are the values which are there. So that is what is exactly I'm showing here. So 500 to 999. So whatever sales values are there, so 9 till 999 it will show. So basically it is storing that 0 to 500, 500 to 999, 1000 to 1499, like that it will store. So with this, what we can do is we can create a histogram chart. So let me create, let's take this sales and let's take the count. Okay, so here I'm able to see the count, and let's click on this label. Okay, so here we need to do this aggregate measures. Okay, so now let's take count of sales and show the label. Okay. So basically, so the purchases are in bit most of the purchases are happening in between the range of $0 to $499. So if you see, most of the people are giving a ratings between 4 to 7. So that is what we have found out in this particular data. In movies ratings, I'm able to find out in the range of 4 to 7, people are giving the ratings. Most of the people are giving the ratings in the range of 4 to 7. And if you go to Superstore, most of the purchases are happening in between $0 to $499. And there are very, very less. So, so most of the people are not purchasing in between this range. So 22,500. So these are some rare cases. And most of the purchases are happening only between 0 to 500. And next will be 500 to 1000. So this way we can see the frequency of the measures. So where the frequency is more. So here I can, by seeing this particular data, I can say that in $0 to $499, my frequency is more. The sales is more. So that means most of the people are purchasing the products which are less than $499. So that is about histogram chart. So this is very important chart. This looks like a bar chart, but this is called as a histogram. Why? Because it is showing you the frequency of the measures. So now let's go to the next slide. So here I'm showing how to do this particular histogram chart stepwise. So follow these steps and prepare it in your desktop and publish in Tableau Public. So now we'll see about ranking chart. So this is also a bar chart. So let's take subcategory, create bar chart and sort it. Okay, so here I'm able to see whatever is the whichever subcategory has the highest value. So that I'm showing it in the first place. And the next subcategory is second highest subcategory, third highest subcategory will be in line. So this is ranking. So based on the ranking, I'm arranging this particular subcategories. And not only that, based on the coloring also, I can based on the intensity of the color. So I'll just put this sum of sales in color. And with the intensity of the color also, I can identify the value of the sales. So if the intensity of the color is more, I can say my sales value is more. And if the intensity of the color is low, I can say my sales value is less. So these are the different varieties of representation. That's about ranking. And now we'll see how to create top and bottom end sets using sets. So let me just create data for customer. So in this Superstore data, we have 800 customers. So if you see in this particular data that you see here, so the customer names are repeated multiple times. Why? Because each customer has purchased multiple products. So if you want to give the information of those products purchased by which customer, so there is a different row for each and every customer. So I want to find out the distinct customers. So how many number of distinct customers are there? We have 800 distinct customers. So if I take only this particular column, it will be showing only without repeating the names, it will just show that particular customer name. And now I want to find out sales. And I also want to sort it based on the descending order, where I can find who are the topmost customers who made more sales and who are the customers who made less sales. So I can find out this. But here I want to see, I don't want to see all the 800 customers. I want to more focus on the top 5 and bottom 5. Top 5 and bottom 5. Instead of seeing all the data, so I want to take only those customers, the top 5 and the bottom 5. So now let's see how we can do using sets. top and bottom. So sets is also an important topic. So set is a subset of data. So set can be created using a combination of dimension and measure. So if you see the previous one, bins can only be created on. So these will be your interview questions. So they might ask you like, can bins be created on dimensions? So we cannot create the bins on dimensions. So bins can only be created on measures. And set is a subset of data, and subset can be created by using conditions. So conditional based sets can be created. So it is a combination of dimension and measure. So let's create a set by combination of measure as well. So just right click on any dimension, go to create, click on set. So it will open a new window where you can see a window which comes for the filter. So it will be similar to what we have for filters. So here you can manually select whatever filters that you want, whatever customer names that you want to select. So you can select only these customers. So this will be a manual selection, but set is a dynamic one. Set is a dynamic. So I will tell you why set is dynamic. So let's go to, so you can write conditions and mention, let's say, sum of sales greater than 20,000. Let's say I want to see only customers who has more than $20,000. So let's say I have everything here. So starting from zero, starting from $5 to 25,000, I have everything. But here I want to see only the sum of sales greater than 20,000. So let's edit this set. Sorry, sum of sales, you need to use greater than symbol. Say apply and put it in the filters. Okay, so there is only one customer who has more than $20,000. And you can say, let's say 15,000. Say apply. So here you can use the multiple symbols are available. If you want to find out equal to or not equal to, less than, equal to, all this you can do. And now I'm going to show you how to create top 5, bottom 5. So let's do top. So click on top. So now I want to find out. So here I cannot mention how many number of customers I want to see. So here you can see only based on the value of the sales. If the number of customer belongs to that particular range, so then only you will be able to see the customers. But here you can specify the number of customers. So let's say I want to see the top 5 customers based on sum of sales. So here you can select whichever measure that you want to select. But here in this particular sheet, I'm showing sales data. So I'm selecting sales and I'm selecting aggregation as sum. So let's create, say, okay. Yeah. So it is showing you the top 5. So I'll just create step by step. So this is for top 5 and create one sheet for bottom 5. So let's take customer name and let's take sales. Instead of descending order, I will do ascending order. So these are the bottom 5 which I want to show. So I'll create one more set. So right click on this, go to create, click on set, click on top. Here there is one more option. Instead of top, you have bottom also. So select bottom and click on 5. So based on sum of sales. So this is my bottom set, bottom sales. Say okay. Put it in the filters. Okay, so here I am able to see the bottom sales values, the customers who have the low values. So bottom 5. Okay, so now let's combine these two. So I have created top 5. So where I'm able to see top 5, and in the other sheet I have created bottom 5. But my requirement is so customer or user or client has asked for to create or show top and bottom 5 in single sheet, single worksheet. Okay, so now let's see how we can create top and bottom 5 in one particular sheet. So let's take customer name and sales and sort it. Okay, so here you can see all the values. And now let's rename this. So this is my top set, top sales. Okay, so I have top sales and bottom sales. So control select bottom sales and top sales. So I'm selecting those two sets and right click on that. So there will be an option called create combined set. So this, I will create one more set, which is a top and bottom sales. Say okay. And put it in the filter. Okay, so at a time, I should be able to see top and bottom. So in earlier sheets, I have created separately for top, for bottom. And here I am able to see top and bottom together. Top and bottom. Fine. Okay. So not only this, so here a static value that we are showing here. Okay, so we are just showing the top 5, but I can give ability to the user to select how many number of top values or how many number of bottom values that he want to see. So let's edit this. So we can create a parameter so that user can pass the value. So instead of entering a static value, so I will allow user to enter this value. Okay, so here I have entered a static value, which is 5. So instead of that, I will create a parameter where I can pass the value. Okay, so starting from, so here you can give the minimum and maximum range. So it will be 1 to 100. So just select OK. So select value, name the parameter as select value. Say OK. OK. And use the same parameter. Use the same parameter in top as well. Edit the set. Instead of this static value, just click on this. So you will be able to see the same parameter here. So in the other set, you have created a select value parameter. The same parameter you can select here. Say OK. So now we'll select value. Right click on this, click on show parameter, and click on this drop down and make it as type in. So instead of 5, if you want to enter 10, so you can see top 10 and bottom 10. Instead of this, if you want to see top 6, or you want to see only top 2, you can mention like this. So you can give the control to the user. Let's say if you want to see top 5, he will enter top 5. So this way we can let the user enter the values. And we have mentioned sets as a dynamic. So we call set as a dynamic because, so in this particular scenario, I see these are the top 5. And I can see Sean Miller, Tamara Chand, Raymond Butch, Tom, Adrian. These are the top 5. But going forward, if you have the values getting changed, so Sean Miller might not be the top 1 position. If the values decrease or there might be, so this particular person may be purchasing more than Sean Miller. So these names might change. So this top 5 is based on the value of the sales. So the names will automatically change. So dynamically, the name of the customers are getting changed. As set is a conditional based, if the values are getting changed, then dynamically the top customer names will be changing. So that's why we call set as a dynamic. So these might not be your top 10 customers or top 5 customers. So you have other 800 customers. They might be in next month, they might be your top customers. Other 800 customers might be your top customers. So that's why we call set as a dynamic set. So let me just take a break and ask some questions. So Abhijit, can you tell me what is bin? Okay, Divya, can you tell me what is bin? Yeah, frequency of the measures. Yeah, perfect. Jagdish, can you tell me what is set? Yeah, so set is a conditional based where you can create a subset of data by using dimension and measure. Okay, Rajesh, can you tell me the importance of this ranking chart? So in what all ways we are representing the sales value here? Oh, okay. Narayan, can you tell me what is the significance of this particular chart? Yeah, correct. And also based on the intensity of the color as well. Mhm. On filters, you can do only top or bottom. At a time, you can't combine both. So you can take customer name and select top. You can do only one at a time. By using set only, you can combine these two. No, no, it is dynamic. So this, in case of filter also, in this case, let's say you are selecting top 5. If the values are getting changed, so the names will change. So that will be dynamic only. So if you are selecting specific names, let's say in this case, you are selecting only these 6 names. So every time it will show these 6 names only. So this becomes static. Dynamic meaning based on the value, the names will change. So Nazrin, can you tell me the importance of histogram chart? Yeah, correct. So in this particular chart, I'm able to identify 0 to $499. I have more number of more number of sales. Okay. Yeah, Priyanka, can you tell me the importance of deviation chart? Okay, no problem. So deviation chart is basically to show the difference between the measures, like what are the positive values and what are the negative values in the data. So positive will be shown in the right side and negative values will be shown in the left side. So by using this in the color marks card, you can also color this. So by selecting stepped colors as 2, you can mark the positive values in one color and negative values in another color. Yeah, different name of bar chart, yes. So in bar chart, there are many representations. So we can call ranking and all. Yeah, but histogram chart looks like a bar chart, but we should not call this as a bar chart. Yes, correct. Okay, Rajesh, can you tell me what is representation of this particular stacked bar? Okay, Roger, can you tell me what is the importance of this particular chart? Srikanth, are you able to hear? Yeah, can you tell the importance of this chart? Okay, so it's basically furniture and office supplies technology. So what is the split of this subcategories across all this furniture? So furniture actually has 7,54,748 of sales, and the split of subcategories under that particular category. So by putting subcategory in the color marks card, I should be able to find out the split of the furniture values. Okay, so Vishwajit, can you tell me importance of this blended access? So what is it representing? Subcategories. Yeah. So we can analyze two different measures at a time. So by side, we can see profit and sales together. Yeah, correct. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. So let's discuss about this tree map and the spatial charts. So these are very simple charts. By just one click, we can create those charts. So for to create a tree map, we need to have one dimension, any dimension, and any measure. So let's take subcategory and sales and click on show me and click on this tree map. So it will automatically create a tree map. So in tree map, so what are those different ways of representation? So there are three different ways it will be representing the data. So one is based on the size of the box, we can identify the sales value, and by intensity of color, and by the third one is very important, hierarchy. Yeah. So it will be arranging the day hierarchically from left top to right bottom. So whatever box that you see on the left top, that will be with the highest value, and whatever you see on the right bottom, that will be your lowest value. So put the sales in the label. So you can see the sales value on this. And I'll just show you one calculation field. So I will write a calculation field if sum of sales greater than $150,000, then good. And else if you want to write one more condition, you need to write else if. So sum of sales greater than 1 lakh and sum of sales less than 140,000, then moderate, else bad. So I'm just writing my sales is more than $150,000. I'm mentioning it as good. If it is less greater than, so if it is in between $100,000 and $140,000, I'm mentioning it as moderate. Else, which is less than 1 lakh, I want to mention it as bad. So this is my coloring condition. So this is just a simple calculation. So first condition is this one. So sum of sales is greater than 50,000. It is good. And the second condition, if I want to write second condition, I need to use else if. And this is my second condition, 100,000 to 40,000. So in between these two values, I want to mention it as moderate. And so what is left? What is left is in between 0 to 100. So 100,000. So that is my else condition. Or you can if you want to mention specific condition, you can write else if and you can continue. So I'm naming this calculation as coloring. I'll use coloring instead of this sum of sales. I will use this color. Okay, so whatever is in more than $150,000 is colored in. So I'll just color it based on that. Good is green color, bad is red color, moderate is orange color. So even when you are using these three colors, you have to be mindful when you have to use these colors. You should not use these colors normally. Let's say in some scenarios. So if you go to this stacked bar, here I'm using different colors to identify or to show different subcategories. I'm using different colors. So in this scenario, you should not use green color. So you're not telling bookcases is good or bad. Here I'm not telling, let's say, this labels is in red in color. I'm not telling labels is bad. So I'm just, in this scenario, what I'm doing is, I'm just coloring all the subcategories with a different color. I'm not mentioning that this is good or this is bad. So whenever you are using red, green, orange colors, you have to be mindful that you are not representing anything which is good or bad. So in this scenario, I have clearly mentioned that if I am crossing 1,50,000, that means my business is performing good. If I'm in the range of 1 lakh to 1,40,000, then I'm performing moderately. If it is less than 1 lakh, then my performance is very bad. So that is what I'm representing here. Yeah, so these are the boxes which are more than 1,50,000, and these are the boxes which are in between 1 lakh to 140,000, and all these are less than 1 lakh. So this is about tree map and the coloring condition. And now let's talk about spatial charts. So to create spatial charts, you need to be having geolocations. So these are all the geolocations. So basically, whenever you connect to any particular data, so let's say, so I'm just creating a data. So I will mention country name, city name, and the postal code. So Tableau will automatically identify certain things. So I'll show you what all Tableau will identify. Even date can be identified. And let's take some text, or let's say take names. Let's say Ajay. So let's take date of birth. So Ajay born on 11/4/1991. So it has to be in date format. Otherwise, Tableau won't identify it. And he born in, let's say, Hyderabad. And the postal code is 5,08,000. And the country is India. And Vijay born in 14/5/1996. And he born in Bangalore, 560037, Bangalore. And this is also in India. Okay, let's say this is some data. And he is getting a salary of 50,000. He is getting a salary of 150,000. And let's see how Tableau identifies date and all these places. So I'm just saving this file. So let's save this as locations. Okay, so let's connect to that file. So click on this connect button and click on Excel and click on D drive and select locations file. Okay, so if you observe here, so Tableau is automatically identifying the locations. So if I say country, so country is shown with a globe symbol. So that means it identified as a geolocation. So geographical location it will identify. So I can use these three columns for creating maps. So if you write the names perfectly, so Tableau will locate that particular location in the map. Okay, so even when you have millions of records, even when you have millions of hundreds of city names, hundreds of country names, and hundreds of postal codes, so Tableau will locate all those postal codes in the map. And if you see, this date of birth is identified as a date. So date will be represented with a calendar symbol. So this icon is calendar, and this icon is geolocation. So this represents it's a location. And name is a text. So that is why it is shown as ABC. And salary is a value. It's a numerical value and it is shown with a hash symbol. So that is what it identifies. So Tableau automatically identifies the data that you provide. And it will also identify which is dimension and which is measure. So can anyone tell me what is dimension in this measure? What is dimension in this entire table? What are the dimensions? Yeah, perfect. So except salary, everything is dimension. So in Tableau also, it is identified what is dimension and what is measure. So if you see, except salary, everything is colored in blue color. So the icons that you see, so all the icons are in blue color except salary. So the hash symbol is in green color. So that means it's a measure. So Tableau will also segregate what is dimension and what is measure. And not only dimension and measure, it also identifies what is a geolocation and what is date and what is text value and what is a numerical value. Okay, so now I'll show you what we can do with these geolocations. So let's go to a new worksheet. So double click on country. So it will locate where India is. So if you see, it is showing you the India. So this is for country. And now let's take city. So double click on city. It will locate city locations. So it is locating Hyderabad. And Bangalore, in Tableau, it is saved as Bengaluru. So let's name this as Bengaluru. So this name has to be matching with the Tableau records. So in Tableau records, Bangalore is stored as Bengaluru. So name that as Bengaluru. So it will identify. Yeah. So if you see, now it is locating the Bengaluru. So Bengaluru is in Karnataka. So it is locating that location. So what is the advantage of that? So, so here I want to show the salary. Okay, so Vijay has 1,50,000 in Bangalore in Karnataka, and Ajay has $50,000. I mean 50,000. Okay, so with that I can specifically show in which region the salary or the sales or profit, in which region that particular amount is more or less. So I can identify that. So this is for city. So now let's take postal code. So double click on this postal code. So it will locate those areas. So in Telangana, where exactly it is. In Karnataka, where exactly it is. So it will locate. So I have given the postal code of Hyderabad region. So it is almost showing the Hyderabad location only. So this is the location of Bangalore. So it is showing the Bangalore location itself. So this is for postal code. So if you give the postal codes, it will also locate those postal codes. Okay, so now let's go back to our spatial chart. So by using sample superstore data, so in this also we have the information of country, city, postal codes, all these are there. And Tableau is identifying it as a geolocation. So with this globe symbol, you can identify these are the geolocations. And by using these columns, you can create map charts, map related information. So now let me take state. So double click on this state. Okay. So it is locating each and every state. So British Columbia, Alberta, Canada. So what is the location of that particular region? And double click on sales. So in which region the sales is more? So by seeing the size of the circle, you can identify in California. In California, you have the highest sales. And if you see in rest of the states, you have very less sales. So where the bubble size is more, there you can identify your sales is more over there. So this is spatial representation. So in spatial also, there are two ways. By seeing the size of the circle, you can identify. And there is one more chart. So let me duplicate this. So click on show me. So there is one more way of representing the data. So click on this. By seeing the intensity of the color also, we can identify where exactly the sales is more. So if you see in the California, the intensity of color is more. In earlier chart, by seeing the size of the circle, you can identify in this area, the sales is more. By seeing the color, intensity of the color, here you can identify in this area, I have more sales. So this is another way of representation. So these are the two spatial charts that you can create. So this is maps and this is also, these are symbol maps. So instead of this, so instead of circle, you can use, let's say, shape. So you can assign different shape for different states. So these are symbol maps. So, and the size is also different. If you see the size, so size is also different. Or you can put one particular shape. Yeah. So this is how we can represent the spatial charts. And we can also show the numbers on top of this. So if you go to this maps, so this map chart is very blank. So I want to fill this with details like what exactly the state name and what is the value of that particular state. Or just remove this. Yeah. So when you hover on that, you can see what is the state name and what are all those details and all. Mhm. Yeah, it will work. So by thickness also it will show size and The thickness of the color was also there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So most of the countries are having less than $1 lakh of sales. And these are the only states which are having more than $1,50,000 of sales. And only these two states are in between 1 lakh to 140,000. Yeah, so that's about today's session. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about, not this one. Yeah, so tomorrow we are going to discuss about how to connect to one basic Excel file and what are some auto-generated fields. So if you see this geolocations, so there are some auto-generated fields. This longitude and latitude that I have connected. So let's go back to, yeah, country. So if you see, I have created only these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have created only 6 columns. But when you go to the dashboard, so other than those 6 columns, you can see some extra columns which are generated by Tableau. So I'm going to show why these extra fields are generated and what is the use of those extra generated fields. So in tomorrow's session, we are going to see why these extra fields are getting created and what we can do with those extra fields. And we will also discuss about live and extract and how to save the Tableau file. So any questions from today's session? Okay, then. Thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Yeah, thank you.